Is there enough? Absolutely. Look all around us. Drive from one corner of Cincinnati to the other. You can see wealth and abundance all around us in our communities. The problem, of course, is that our prosperity is not being shared. We're often told that the solution to this problem is personal responsibility, individuals making different decisions which will lead to a better outcome. What we know is that there are actually major systemic problems that are leading to these large problems that we have in our communities. One major problem that's leading to the systemic inequality that we have in our communities is tax and budget policy. So it's important, in our opinion, to really work to address the kinds of inequality that we're seeing around the globe and here in the United States and right here in Cincinnati and in our region. Through better tax and budget policy, we can make a major impact on these challenges. One big solution: fair tax and budget policy. So why is tax and budget policy so important? Well, first of all, because it helps us decide whether we should solve our problems around inequality or we should exacerbate them. For instance, when the state has moved away from income taxes over the last 10 years in Ohio, it's meant there's been less revenue from the wealthiest people in our state to pay for local government services like firefighters, children's services, swimming pools, and recreation centers. So when the local government fund gets cut in half, you see impacts in your community. We also decide through tax and budget policy what resources we have for the common good. When the estate tax, which only 8% of Ohioans were paying, is taken away, it means there are hundreds of millions of dollars less that can improve our communities. That means we have hundreds of millions of dollars less to impact hunger in Ohio, to make sure more people have homes and beds to sleep in, and to make sure that young people in our communities have great opportunities through education and other programs and services in our communities. When we move billions of dollars through income tax changes and other policy shifts at the state level that have benefited the wealthiest Ohioans, it means that we do not have resources for the common good that can make all of us have a better life. Better tax and budget policy can make a big difference in solving the problems with inequality we have in our country and here at home. But what can we personally do to impact these major complex issues? Really, it comes down to talking with our neighbors, with our local leaders, and talking to state legislators. For too long, the conversation has been centered on the idea that lower taxes and smaller government are good for the vast majority of people. Unfortunately, what we've seen is that this is not working out for the vast majority of people across Ohio and across the country. So we need to change the narrative by talking with our neighbors. As you're talking with your friends, your family, folks that you work with, make sure to communicate with them about how taxes are actually the services that make our community stronger. Nearly everyone knows that parks, schools, and roads are the foundation of a strong community. Next, talk to your local leaders. We must demand that our local leaders ensure that our policies are working for everyone and not just for the wealthy in our communities. When we give tax incentives and tax abatements to the corporations and individuals that request them, we should ensure that those incentives come with jobs, with economic development opportunities, and other opportunities for all the people in our communities. Unfortunately, too often, we look at changes without knowing whether or not they've worked out for everyone. And then talk to your state legislators. The state in particular has moved billions of dollars toward this philosophy of lower taxes to try to improve our economy. But we are not seeing the fruits of that labor, and we need to take a different approach. By letting our state legislators know we have a different approach in mind, we can see changes that will impact people's lives. For instance, just within the last few years, we enacted an earned income tax credit at the state level, which has put millions of new dollars in the pockets of the poorest people in Ohio who most need the support in our unequal society. We'll need to make a lot of progress to ensure shared prosperity for everyone, but better tax and budget policy can take us a long way toward our goal. Remember, there is enough. We just need to learn to share.